Hello, I am Mallory Whiffen. I am a photographer here in Southeast Missouri, and I'm going to show you a workflow. So, here is my Lightroom. This is one of my favorite galleries that I shot this fall. Dreamy little kids, sweet little family. I'm going to show you kind of how I organize everything and then take you into Photoshop and show you some of my favorite tools. So, here are all of my files so far this year. Some may shoot more than me, some may not, but here we go. So I'm a big fan of the Photo Tribe. I will link it in the description below. Photo Tribe presets. This is the Tribe Arpeggio, if I say it correctly. LXC is one of my favorites, as well as Loaf. It just does magical things with tones and grains, as you can kind of see. It gives a moody, kind of muted look. Grain optional. Another preset that I'm super in love with are the small presets. And this is by Sven Malocchio. And they're really groovy too. These have optional grain as well, which I kind of like, which you can kind of see. I shoot with Nikon. I tend to favor, these were shot with my 50mm art, Sigma art. And I use that almost for everything just because the clarity is insane. So, another one that I really like is the Tribe Photo Company. I just got the Wolfpack set, and this is the one that I'm kind of jamming out with my fall sessions. I super love the effect it gives on them. Which preset is this? This one might be the small presets, I believe. But, anywho, so I'm going to show you that. So these are some of my favorite families, which I've already completed their gallery. Here is a quick before and after of kind of how I shoot. I tend to like to shoot a little bit darker. I don't usually let my ISO go above, say, 400 unless I really, really need to. I shoot wide open and pretty fast, so that's kind of my jam. I do a couple different things with these brushes that I enjoy, and I believe I got these brushes from Pretty Presets. I've had them for a while, and I tend to favor the iris enhancer as well as the soften skin, and that's a lot of what I do in Lightroom. So little tweaks with color, softening skin, enhancing eyes, as you can see, just a smidge. Kind of gives me a little clarity. You can see my kind of mask. So once I get a good image that I love, I'm going to tweak it in Photoshop. And this is kind of how I do all of my images. So I don't straight go from Lightroom all the way through and do my galleries that way. I like to kind of make them really custom and finish them up in Photoshop. I just feel like it gives a kind of cleaner look. Also, we're watching Moana in the background in case you noticed the soundtrack. I'm using Creative Cloud 6, so it gets all sorts of things in there. Lightroom, Photoshop, if you're into video editing, it has that as well, along with tons of other things. My favorite actions in here are probably the Greater Than Gatsby. I use them with almost every image that I could possibly think of. So if you're looking for some good Photoshop actions, these are definitely worth the money. You can test some out. You can, I don't know, buy in bulk if you've got the cash flow to do. I really enjoy the Innocence collection. It has a smoothing option. It's great for enhancing eyes, taking away circles, flyaway hairs. If you don't like that, it doesn't bother me so much. Gives option for rim lights, all sorts of things. Things that I tend to use a lot is iris enhancers. I'm a sucker for eyeballs, as well as a few of the other ones are way fun to play with too. They just give lots of different feels. You can change your opacity the way that you like if you want a more red glow. So Greater Than Gatsby is definitely something I would suggest investing in. I have almost all of them, I think, and this is just over years and years of accumulation. I have tons of my old favorites as well as some new ones I'm looking into. So with this, what I would do is soften her skin and kind of brighten her eyes a little bit. And I'm going to show you a few other tools that I really, really like. Kelsey Freeman Actions. This is her Storyteller collection. I wasn't really sure if I liked them at first, just because I didn't feel like they were as clean and crisp as I would like them to be. But as I've worked with them, I've learned different ways to kind of manipulate them into my style. So I tend to be a little darker and moodier, so I like a good dark background. I like my blacks to be black and my darker colors to be almost as dark. I feel like it pops my image just a little bit. So some of my favorites are her are Storm, Rustling Leaves. These are okay. Oak is kind of cool. It just gives a nice feel to them. Also, she made this handy little button that's blur the background a lot. And it really does so. I'm just going to show you real quick what it does. But even I'm at like 76% flow and about half opacity. I mean, it gives you a great blur. You know, I'm just showing you on her face, but you catch my drift. You can kind of see how it goes. It's really rad. Also, it has little tools like soften up, brighten up. Spotlight's handy if you need an extra little something in the middle. If you didn't use a flash and you need a fill flash, this is semi-handy for that, but at like a low opacity. That's almost too bright for me. Way too bright. Also, it has these gradient fillers, which is just a nice little trick. If you don't like to purchase anything, you can make them yourself. Another tool I'm going to show you is Jessica Drawston Lightscaping Overlays. She is an excellent artist, which I can also link below. These are examples of her lightscaping overlays. And at first I wasn't sure how to work them into my workflow without everything looking too, I don't know, fantasy looking. So for example, I will show you. I use these with almost every detailed portraiture. I always create, see this little button down here? I always create a layer mask, and I'm going to make it into an overlay. So as much as I like a good spotlight on her, it's a little too much, so I always take away. I never leave any kind of layering or filter on my subject's face. I tend to like to take that off, but it just gives a really cool kind of mood to it. See the difference? So this is my beginning workflow. This is my first video tutorial of my editing style. You can find me at LennoxandJude.com as well as Facebook/LennoxandJude. And welcome to my channel. Thanks.